EMSradio.com.
EMS information for the next generation.
The EMS Garage is a production of EMSradio.com. You can find us on Facebook, just search EMS Garage. You can find us on Twitter at EMS Garage. Email us, emsgarage@gmail.com, or call us, 303-720-6001.
The EMS Garage.
Checking out right now. Okay, I got DG on the phone there. Want to know if you can handle that call as well. Just confirming you are checking the patient. Salmonic 22 is on scene.
Hello everybody and welcome to the EMS Garage, EMS World podcast mashup at EMS World Expo 2018 here in lovely Nashville. I'm Chris Montera and I'm joined by a podcast oldie but a goodie, Rommie, Duckworth, which is probably the coolest name ever.
Thank you.
I don't know if you, so what have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Well, I've been keeping busy most lately with an organization called the Sepsis Alliance.
Cool.
Yeah, they've started about 3 years ago just trying to educate myself on sepsis, something that back in the day when I took my paramedic program, they didn't really talk a whole lot about.
Right.
And,
Well, we didn't know anything about it back then either.
no.
I mean, people are sick. What do we know? Yeah.
I felt at the time that it was really, for my program, the attitude was, you know, it's like cancer. It's a sad thing,
Right.
and people are sick, but it's not anything we're going to solve in the back of the ambulance on the way to the hospital.
Right. And so what are you guys doing with is it education? Is it awareness? Is it teaching people how to do, how are you fixing the problem?
Well, as an organization, they're really focused on all of that.
Okay.
They started off as an advocacy organization, teaching physicians, critical care specialists, emergency department, and at the time that I found them in a simple Google search and reached out to them for some information, they said, hey, we are looking to reach out to EMS because so much of sepsis is actually community acquired, and EMS personnel are the first medical contact, like we are for a lot of things. And it really opened my eyes to not just more about sepsis, but how EMS makes a difference. Because that was really the first question that I asked. You know, I'm interested in this kind of thing, but does EMS make a difference?
Good point. Well, so I have many questions. So let's start here. So I think that we can prevent some septic problems down the road by just cleaning your ambulance every call. I mean, it's like the simplest thing we could do, and yet I don't think we oftentimes recognize the part of the healthcare system we're in if we just would do that simple public health, wash your hands, clean your ambulance after every patient.
Oh, absolutely. It's, you know, it's not magic, and it's not rocket surgery. It's going in there and just washing your hands, cleaning up, and that can solve not only the bad results from sepsis, you know, the more serious infections, the body's reaction to those infections, including sepsis, but just talking about staying healthy and clean and not picking up the flu this flu season.
Right. Well, and I think that's important, but there's been so much research and so much goes into nosocomial infections in the hospital. How much does that get contributed by us? I mean, I don't know that we know that answer. Maybe we never will, because you can't go into a hospital that's absolutely clean, so you'll never know where you actually got it. So maybe that's good for us. But how are you guys teaching paramedics and EMS personnel to take care of septic patients?
Well, we're very fortunate to have had some generous donations that let us put together a couple of different some videos, a shorter 15-minute video as well as an hour-long CAPC accredited program that's being offered through Jones and Bartlett in partnership with NAEMT. And that's actually why I'm here. I'm doing a couple of presentations, but the big thing that I'm doing here at EMS World is announcing the partnership with NAEMT and the rollout of the educational materials, the posters, badge buddies, and a whole bunch of different stuff like that to really let people know, not just to sort of raise anxiety about sepsis, but to get to the really rock solid, evidence-based, here's what EMS can do as an integral part of the whole healthcare system.
So please tell me, please tell me there's not going to be a sepsis merit badge.
No,
Thank
there's
God.
not going to be
good.
a sepsis merit badge.
I'm like, oh, I can just add it to this one on my sesh.
No. They're integrating. They're looking to integrate that information in other educational materials from NAEMT. The medical life support, their pediatric programs, really just to make sure that it's EMS focused, sort of take the EMS information from NAEMT and their partnerships with NAMSI, with NAEMSP, the physicians, so that Sepsis Alliance understands where we're coming from and can help put out that not just evidence-based clinical information, but from a good educational evidence-based perspective. You know, what's really going to solve the problem here? What's going to make things change in people's living rooms at 3 o'clock in the morning, in the back of the ambulance on the way to hospital?
And I think that's the thing I recognize now from starting this years ago is we now have medical alerts going into the hospital, like trauma alerts, and that a lot of that's from sepsis, right? So how as an EMS provider, how can we help mitigate the effects of sepsis? What are some of the medical tips we should be doing on the way to the hospital?
One of the number one things is really considering the two main factors that make up sepsis. It's a complex syndrome. We're learning a lot about it. We still don't understand exactly what makes it all tick, but it's got the two components of there's an infection, or we strongly suspect that there's an infection on board, and there's some kind of, for lack of a better term, messed up vital signs. And that really sets us on the path of including sepsis in our differential diagnosis. And from there, for us, just like the ED physicians, just like the critical care staff, it's a rock solid assessment. There's no blood test for sepsis. There's no one thing. It's a rock solid assessment to really refine our differential and to be able to move that patient assessment and care forward. So when we get to the ER, we give them a really good handover report, and they pick up that patient care right from that point and continue to move them forward.
Well, what about lactates? I mean, isn't that a valid laboratory test for some of these things?
It is.
Indicator markers, anyway?
It is, but a lot of people take it as a test specific to sepsis, and it's just one more. It's a good vital sign, and there's some information I just found out here at EMS World that there's new monitors that are going to be coming to market. They're going to be a lot easier to use, easier to get approved for EMS for field use. And I'm looking into bringing them into my own service.
Perfect.
But it's still one test of many, and we got to look at that trend and put it together in that big assessment picture.
That's okay. That's good, because I was going to say you can't just rely on one thing to say that this is what's wrong with that patient. So, what's the future of sepsis? How's this going to look in 5 years? Do you think we mitigate all sepsis?
I don't think it's something that's going away, but hopefully it won't be affecting as many people as it is right now. It's the morbidity, it's the mortality, it's the families that it affects. I mean, you hear the same thing about stroke and heart attack, and it is true, but I think sepsis is coming into the vernacular as right up there statistically. It's more prevalent, it's more frequent even than MIs. And think of all the resources and the training we aim at. I'm hoping that in 5 years, maybe there will be a test that'll help direct us. I don't want to see EMS sort of getting nervous and calling everything sepsis. I want to see us really being able to rock that assessment, move things forward, and doing that good handover with our colleagues at the ER, not just for sepsis, but across the board. I mean, I really hope that's where pre-hospital care moves in the next 5 years, and I hope it takes sepsis with it.
Well, and I think I'm going to take your assessment thing and take it a little bit bigger and say it's the clinical picture, right? It's the clinical picture of that entire patient, and you want to know what that is. So, Rommie, where can people find you and find out more information about sepsis and about the work you're doing?
Well, you can find me at rescuedigest.com. I don't sell T-shirts or bumper stickers. This is
that's
education
cool.
stickers, or education, resources and such.
Is it like a little Reader's Digest?
It is.
Okay,
It's
okay,
exactly
nice.
it.
Nice.
And at the through the Sepsis Alliance, I'm on their advisory board there. And if people want to know more about sepsis education for EMS or across the board, just go right over to the Sepsis Alliance, and we've got all the videos.
Sepsisalliance.org?
It's actually sepsis.org.
Oh.
Yes, thank you.
Cool.
Yep.
That's a cool.
They got it.
I like short ones. Yeah, probably like sepsis. Who's gonna take that domain name? That's awesome. And do you want to put out your personal contact, or you're just gonna leave it there? We're good.
Yeah, Rescue
Sorry.
Digest or
Okay.
romduck.com, and people
Cool.
can reach out to me for
Nice.
more information and the stuff that I teach about, and the
Nice.
stuff that we talk about.
Well, keep track of that active 4-year-old, and thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and you can find out more information on this. I'm gonna have to cut that one out. All right. See, yeah. To find out more information on the Sepsis Alliance, just click right here. And for more great content, watch this channel from EMS World Expo 2018.